can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. We're in preview mode, Elliot and I, for Junto Nakatani against Ryosuke Nishida, a unification fight in the bantamweight division on Sunday, June the 8th. WBC and IBF titles coming together for this unification in a fight that we are all looking forward to. Before we get into the video, if you're watching this video, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video. Let us know in the comments any of your thoughts on your thoughts on this fight, who you think is going to win it, and any of the general talking points we're about to discuss. Elliot, thanks very much for joining me. Looking forward to this fight. Looking forward to this chat with you. First and foremost, please give me your thoughts on the Nakatani Nishida unification coming up this weekend, and a little prediction there as well as to who you see getting their hand raised.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Paul. I'm looking forward to this. I think, if you ask me, I feel like it's gone under the radar. I don't know if you'd agree with this. That it's it's one of Nakatani's one of the biggest fights of his career. Um, it's the first unification fight that he's involved in, and he's up against Nishida, who's kind of clearly no mug. Became a world champion very early on in his career. So yeah, looking forward to it, but I just think Nakatani, he's one of my favorite fighters. He's someone who I would love to see fight in the flesh one day. I don't know who that would be against, how that would happen, but yeah, I can't see past him. He just, to be that weight and to hit as hard as he does, I always find extremely impressive. And so yeah, I can't see past the Nakatani stoppage for this fight.
Interesting. I think before I get into my thoughts, I can't really disagree with anything you said. I'm just happy that we're seeing a unification. I suppose there's been four different belt holders in the bantamweight division for a while now, all fighters from Japan as well. We're finally getting a unification. Nishida, as you mentioned, no mug at all. I think when you look at his 10 or no, two stoppages, perhaps actually a bigger puncher than maybe than his record suggests. Not on the level of Junto Nakatani though, who's could be one of the biggest punchers pound for pound in the sport. I know it was a while ago now, but that Maloney knockout still like it lives rent free in my head. I mean, it's one of the best you've ever seen, really. But yeah, Nishida, no mug as you said, credible fighter, got a couple of good wins on his resume. I suppose if you look at that Emmanuel Rodriguez one, in particular, but I suppose maybe it has that flattered Nishida a little bit in the sense of what version of Manny Rodriguez was that. I'm not so sure. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Elliot. I'm going with Nakatani to get the victory here. I also believe it will be a stoppage. When that comes, I think that could be a second half of the fight, maybe down the stretch. Not as late as the Maloney one, for example, which what was the last round or the second last round or whatever it was. But I think Nakatani will win this via stoppage in maybe rounds 8, 9, 10, somewhere around then. That's where I'm going with it right now. But yeah, I hope it's a thrilling fight. Hope we get a good unification and that the fight in Tokyo on Sunday lives up to it. Before we round off, mate, I wanna ask you a couple of questions about Nakatani and maybe where you want to see him go in the future. One name that we're maybe guilty of talking about maybe a little too much sometimes, whether that be for featherweight fights. Obviously, he's in the super bantamweight division now, or throwing him in there with this all Japanese super fight with Nakatani is of course Naoya Inoue. How do you feel that if they were to fight, let's say early 2026, mid 2026, a year from now, Junto Nakatani, Naoya Inoue, how does that fight go for you?
Yeah, I can't. I just feel like that fight. I would, when it comes to Inoue, I would get more excited about him looking at fights looking down than up. I get more excited about this fight, the Nakatani fight, Bam Rodriguez fight, than I do about him fighting kind of Nick Ball or Angelo Leo personally, just because I feel like featherweight, he's moving into a weight division that's just unnatural to him, basically, is the best way I can put it. Um, that fight, if I had to give you an answer, it's really difficult. I just Inoue's 32 now, and you wonder if in another year, um, where's he going to be at? Is he going to still be? Is he going to be in its peak? Is he going to be past his best? Whereas Nakatani, 4 or 5 years younger than him, and part of me thinks that Nakatani would stop Inoue. I just also think Inoue, we've seen him down against Kadanas in his last fight, down against Lewis Neary. No shame in getting knocked down, but I just think if you're getting if it might be more than a knockdown against Nakatani, if that makes sense. So if I had to, I'd go with Nakatani. How about yourself?
Well, here we go. There you are. Don't know whether many people have said that, put their neck on the line that much on the channel. I think I know it, but you'd have a lot of Nakatani backers. But there you go, Studdy. You're predicting a stoppage win for Nakatani against Inoue. That's an interesting one. I think yeah, you make a good point when you look at the fact that he almost looked untouchable in the sense that we barely even saw him take one punch in Inoue recently, and until the Neary fight where he was down, recovered really well. Clearly has a good chin, good powers of recovery. Same as you mentioned in the last fight there, as well against Cardenas. I mean, fair play to him. He clearly gets off the deck. But as you said, if he was to get caught like that by someone
Mm.
like Junto Nakatani, would he get away with it? Would he be able to recover? Would he be given that opportunity? Probably not. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go still. They say this time next year, I would still back Inoue to win. Um, Part of me maybe thinks that Inoue just took his eye off the ball, maybe underestimated Cardenas potentially last time out. But we'll see. It's a fight where if Nakatani did land and did stop Inoue, I wouldn't be overly surprised given what we have seen of late. But there's just something telling me that I couldn't back against Inoue right now. You know me, mate. There's only one man I'd back against Naoya Inoue, but that's a story for another. That's another video. But yeah, if Nakatani unifies here at 118 pounds at bantamweight, maybe I don't know whether he would want to become undisputed if that's possible. But say when he unifies and he's like, no, I want to go up now to 122. Do you believe he wins a world title there? Do you think it can go further than even up to featherweight? Or do you just think that, almost like a super bantamweight or even bantamweight where he is now is a ceiling?
Yes, I think just one difference between Inoue and Nakatani have got quite different physiques. And Nakatani, I mean, according to BoxRec, he's 5'8". It wouldn't surprise me if he was a bit taller than that actually. And he's just as he's gone up in age, he's gone up in the weights. So looking at him, I can see him winning a world title at super bantamweight, and I can see him winning a world title at featherweight as well. I really can. He can do something that maybe Inoue couldn't do. So yeah, I just think with his physique, he's tall, long arms, still young. So if he fights until he's kind of like 33, 34, then yeah, I can definitely see him moving up and winning world titles in two more weight divisions for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's beyond the question as well. I could see that, especially as you mentioned, you made a good point about the physique, a lot bigger, naturally bigger than Inoue, and just seems to have dynamite in his fists as well. And I'd imagine that would probably translate up to at least 122 times, maybe even beyond. But yeah, once you are getting to featherweight, then you maybe are. You're fighting the freaks of the world like Rafael Espinoza at 6'2" or whatever he is. I mean, yeah, unbelievable. But yeah, I think Nakatani could definitely be a multi-weight world champion. In another couple of divisions. I don't think that's unrealistic either. I could definitely see it happen. Who knows? Maybe he'll win his super bantamweight world title against Naoya Inoue. Time will tell. That could well be a fight that happens, and it could well be for all the marbles at 122 pounds if Inoue keeps them. So yeah, interesting one, mate. That's a been an intriguing video. Fingers crossed, all of these fights that we've mentioned with Nakatani involved do happen. But first and foremost, he does have to get past Ryosuke Nishida in their unification clash on Sunday in Tokyo, Japan. Undefeated against undefeated. Fight we're all looking forward to. And yeah, um, hopefully some bigger fights down the line for Nakatani as well. Guys, as I said at the start of the video, please do subscribe to the channel if you're not doing so already. All of your boxing needs under one roof. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on this fight and how you think Nakatani would maybe get on against Inoue and some of the other champions, even up at featherweight. And Elliot, all that's left for me to say is thanks very much for joining me, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Great. Thanks very much, Paul.